Welcome to 12-Minute Talks, where important information is shared in a short time period. Learn from other business owners, entrepreneurs, and experts about what they do to help you find solutions to everyday topics in 12 minutes or less. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I'm really excited to have with us today Nathan Hirsch. He's a lifelong entrepreneur and currently the CEO of EcomBalance, an outsourced school. Nathan, thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. So I remember we talked a few months before you started EcomBalance when you were more doing the outsourced school. So I'm glad to have you on now to talk more about EcomBalance and what you're doing with that. But before we get into all those details, why don't you tell the audience a little bit more about how you got started in this industry?
Yeah, so I'm a longtime entrepreneur. I started off starting an Amazon business while I was in college and sold about 25 million on Amazon from 2008 to 2015. Hired a lot of virtual assistants and freelancers to grow that business. And I ended up launching the Free Up marketplace back in 2016. We scaled Free Up for 4 years before being acquired at the end of 2019. And since then, I've been working on two ventures. The first one being Outsource School, which is where we teach people our hiring process. And my newest venture, EcomBalance, which is a monthly bookkeeping service for e-commerce and digital businesses. So we're really excited about EcomBalance. It's something that we started about 7 months ago and growing. And yeah, thanks so much for having me back on.
Definitely. And so bookkeeping, I think, is something that's very complicated for business owners, right? We also do a lot of things um, from sales to customer service, marketing, but a lot of us are not accountants or bookkeepers, right? So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how Ecom Balance is helping business owners with their bookkeeping?
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, you should never be doing your own books. First of all, it's not a good use of your time. You should be focused on growing your business. And second of all, most entrepreneurs are not good at it. And I also think that there's definitely a gap sometimes between what bookkeepers can tell an entrepreneur and what the entrepreneurs actually need to see to be able to make good decisions on their business. So at our core, Ecom Balance is a monthly bookkeeping service. We charge clients on the first, we get them their income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow by the 15th. And I think our unique perspective is we're entrepreneurs first. We're e-commerce sellers first. We speak entrepreneurship. We know what business owners need to see in order to be able to make decisions for their business and grow their business. And we want to take bookkeeping off their plate to get them clean, easy reports to make decisions.
Fantastic. And I think numbers are very important in order for people to make those decisions. And I agree, we should not be our own bookkeepers. That's not, like you mentioned, a good use of our time, or um, nor should we be doing it. And I guess with your background from Amazon and having launched other successful businesses, is that how you came up with the idea? Like, did you see this problem with other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so I mean, we've always been good at finances. I mean, it's one of the things that helped us make good decisions every month for Free Up and obviously pass due diligence and sell Free Up. And we want to do something different than the VA and freelancer space. And bookkeeping is obviously a big market. It applies to all businesses, very similar as hiring applies to all businesses. And it's something that we feel like we can make a difference and do something differently than everyone else.
Definitely. And so, what do you think sets you apart from other bookkeeping services? Like, I hear people like QuickBooks, and there's a whole bunch of other ones, right? What makes Ecom Balance different?
Yeah, so we use QuickBooks. We're not trying to reinvent QuickBooks or Zero. We're also compatible with. I think what makes us different is that we're entrepreneurs first. We're good at hiring. We're good at systems. We're good at processes, and we're good at putting things in a way that the average entrepreneur can understand. A lot of times, other bookkeepers can't speak entrepreneur. They can't put things in a way that entrepreneurs can understand, or they run into issues with scaling and hiring and building really good customized processes for their clients.
Yeah, that's really important to be working with somebody that understands like your space, right? And so when you say entrepreneurs, that could be very broad. Do you have a specific niche or like minimum requirements to work with Ecom Balance?
So our minimum is 250 a month. So if you can't afford 250 a month, you're probably too small for us. We're most well known in the e-commerce space. That's definitely our background, and we have a lot of experience with that. To be honest, e-commerce is some of the hardest bookkeeping. So if you can do e-commerce bookkeeping, you can do other businesses fairly easily. So we have clients that have nothing to do with e-commerce. We can accept almost any kind of client, but our niche is e-commerce.
That makes sense. Ecom Balance, right?
Right.
Why would you say e-commerce is complicated? Is it because they're getting maybe they sell something online and it gets returned, and is that why, or is it more broad than what I'm
Yeah.
thinking here?
I mean, every marketplace is different. So Amazon has its own way. It does reports and Shopify and Walmart. So there's that part of it of getting accurate sales data and fees and returns, like you mentioned. Then there's also the inventory side of it and cost of goods sold and accrual basis accounting. So it's kind of a combination of the sales on different marketplaces and the processors and also the inventory side of it.
Yeah. Makes total sense. And so Nathan, can you give us a story of maybe a success story that you've had with an e-commerce? No names are necessary, but just an example of maybe one that, was really struggling in this department and you guys were able to turn that around, let's say.
Yeah, so I mean, we worked with an eight-figure e-commerce business that's very seasonal, and they need to project out cash flow, especially during the summer months when they're a little bit slower, and they don't want to fire all their employees and rehire them next year. They need to be able to pay them through the summer. So, as an add-on service to our monthly bookkeeping, we do cash flow projections, and we've helped them project out so they know how much money is going to be in their bank account 12, 16 weeks ahead of time, and that helps them make the correct business decision. So that's just one example, and we've had numerous other clients who really struggled with bookkeepers and getting stuff on time and making decisions that we've been helping them really understand their numbers.
Fantastic. Yeah, and that definitely takes off a lot of worry and stress from those businesses, right? To be worried about, you know, payroll, which is really important, especially for
Exactly.
seasonal employers, right?
Right.
Um, and so let's switch gears a little bit. We talked at the beginning that you're also the CEO and founder of Outsource School. So can you just tell us real briefly here about what that is? I think that's also really important for entrepreneurs to know about.
Yeah, so a key to our success over the years has been really great hiring. And at Outsource School, we teach you our exact process for interviewing, onboarding, training, and managing virtual assistants. You can also use it for US employees as well. But if you struggle with hiring or you want a good process that you can just plug into your business, check out Outsource School.
Definitely, and that's really important with so much turnover that we're seeing, especially here in the U.S. There seems to be like an issue with hiring, so that would be definitely a good course to take, I think, for many business owners out there. And so, Nathan, how can somebody reach out to you if they would like more information about Ecom Balance?
Yeah, go to ecombalance.com, mention this podcast, and we'll give you 2 free months of bookkeeping.
Very simple. And like always, we will have all of the links down below, so anybody watching the video or listening to the podcast can go ahead and access those 2 free months. And I just wanted to quickly introduce myself for those of you that don't know who I am. My name's Lorena Tomasini, and I'm the owner of Mom Life and Health Insurance Agency, where together with my mom, we help other businesses and families with their financial protection needs. Nathan, it's been great having you today on the 12-Minute Talks podcast. I do have a random question here before we wrap up here. What would you say is a good book that entrepreneurs should read?
So the book I just finished is the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I definitely pronounced his last name wrong, but he's a serial investor, entrepreneur, and he has a lot of great tips on wealth, on happiness, on life in general. I'm actually giving it to my business partner Connor later today. So I strongly recommend if you're listening to check out that book.
Awesome, and I'll be sure to put the link for that as well here on for Amazon. Assuming they have it, right? And
Absolutely.
what did you say it was called? The Almanac?
The Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
Okay, perfect. So we'll be sure to put that on there. And Nathan, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, feel free to follow me on social media, Nathan Hirsch on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I love connecting with other entrepreneurs.
Fantastic. And, we'll put all of your social media links as well there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this podcast and hope you will listen to the next one. I'm Lorena Tomasini and you can contact me via email life@malmins.com. Make it a great day.